Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome on in. Welcome. Thank you for the hype train. Appreciate it. Frost Twig, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Layer, thank you for the prime for 30. No, 26 months. Almost at 36. Ice, thank you for the tier 3 for 6 months. I appreciate it. Appreciate it, everybody. I'm setting stuff up. Some people in Cyprus wanted to do peak today, and I was like, hell yeah. So Kibbs, Fahrenheit, Darrell, Edward, meaning Dante, Leon, Jojo, and Ilya. Those 4 wanted to play. Numi wants to play too, but her cat's been a little sick, and she's like, I'm gonna hang out with it and make sure it's good, you know, and not like leave my cat alone, because when they're having an issue where they're sick for a little bit, you gotta, you know, keep on them. So she'll join another one. She was the one who was actually like organizing it first. But yeah, people started pinging yesterday, and they were like, yeah, let's do this. I'm gonna check with Ravish, who plays Yaya. Let me see. There we go. But a lot of people do other shit on Sundays, so this one wouldn't be a huge lobby, but I wanted to play with them, so we'll do that for it. It's like in 40 minutes or so. So it'll be nice. We see your Cyprus crew doing stuff together. Yeah, because we're gonna be blown up and not a crew this week. It's all dying. But we're all friends, so you know. That's my quick RP update where it's all getting burnt down to the ground. Maybe not all of it, but I don't know. There we go. Only Cypress could kill Cypress in the end. What is dead may never die. Or whatever we say. Whatever our line is. But yeah, so we'll play with some people today for a little bit, and then afterward I was gonna do, I don't know, maybe Sunshine. Some raft sessions for practice into new travel. You know what I kind of want to do? I just don't know if you guys want to watch this. I kind of want to solo through Grounded. Because I never got to finish it. I kind of want to do that. It'd be nice to do it with somebody. But I don't know who would want to actually, like, play through a lot of it. You know what I mean? Like, people are always down for collabs, but for a bunch of it, I don't know. Survival game where you're small as an ant? Yeah. Barb looked like he was having fun soloing. Yeah, that's the thing. I was watching Barb play it, and I was like, man, this looks fun. So maybe I'll try it for, like, one day and see. I do want to play it to the end. Maybe I'll start it on stream, and then if we're into it, like, I'll keep working on it, because Grounded 2 is coming out at the end of the month. If we're not into it, then we're not into it, and I'll just play something else after, you know? Barber is king. We rated him the other day. I love Barb. I watch him to see what games he's enjoying, and he's just, for me, he's a litmus test of, like, what would I also like? If he likes a game, there's a really good chance I'm going to like it too. Because we just tend to have the same taste. So him and Dan's Gaming, those two, I pay a lot of attention to what games they say they do and don't like, because it's like 95% same taste overlap, you know, of what we enjoy and don't enjoy playing. There's some things that I like get really into that they might not, like with the roguelike shit. I'll play like Rogue Slop, you know, and then be like, this is so fun. But in general, like, it's pretty one-to-one, so yeah, I watch them a lot. One sec, I have to open my door because Lucky wants to come in. He's complaining. I locked him out. I locked him out. There we go. Hype trains go up to 11. Hype trains go up to... Do they even have a limit? Do they? 111? I don't know. I want to say they have no limit. It's just like... It's just harder and harder, you know, for each level, so the likelihood gets lower. Here, I'm gonna click on a different playlist. There we go. The limits your wallets. Yeah, there's also a factor that a lot of streamers don't talk about. I don't think any of them are doing this maliciously, but I want to point it out. You can set 3 different difficulty levels on your hype trains. There's like an easy, medium, and hard. And they're there for the size of your community. So if you're a small streamer, you should set them to easy because it means it doesn't take as much to kick off the hype train. And each level takes less to go level up. There are people who will leave it on easy even though they have a larger community, and then the number looks really high. And then people are like, whoa, can you believe they got a level 20 hype train? That's so crazy. But it was set to easy, you know? So maybe if it was set to medium, that would have been level 8, you know, or level 10 or whatever. I don't think people are doing it maliciously. I think they just set it once, and it's a setting that they never look back at if they ever touched it. So there's some like really, really big streamers that I think almost everyone starts it. I'm pretty sure it starts you at medium, so almost everyone leaves it at medium. And I think when people get like larger, like you're like a 3K Andy and above or something, somewhere around there, you should probably set it up higher. But people don't. And that's why you get some crazy numbers sometimes. Should automatically scale based on viewer size. Yeah, but that number shifts and changes so much, so I don't know that they can do that, because then like you're watching the meter, and as the meter is going, it's like shifting. Or like if you get raided, there's a big difficulty spike, and then a lot of the raiders drop off, and now you're stuck with this padded out thing, you know what I mean? Like maybe it should be over like weekly or monthly data, scale with that, right? I think after a certain level starts to fudge the numbers to make it like a level 60 hype train. It still takes the same amount of money regardless of difficulty. Yeah, there's something weird with it. I think you just set everyone to easy. Yeah, I think they shouldn't have the difficulties, right? I think they should just set it to all be the same and just let it scale up, right? Like, so the first 10 levels are like really easy, but then, you know, exponentially goes up. I think that's how it should be. I don't know. I don't think like all of it matters that much. It's just one of those things where I hate when they implement a feature and they're like, it's so cool, and then it's like it's not really done right. You know, the guy who tunes up hype trains. I wonder if you could talk about it. Yeah, I would love if there were no difficulties and it was just the same across the platform. But maybe they're trying to avoid comparison too. Because then you see all these big streamers getting all these level a billion hype trains, and then all the small streamers are like, I can't crack 5, and maybe it feels bad for them, you know? And I don't want that either. I don't know. I don't know. Average CCV opens up different kind of wars with people who spike periodically. Yeah, and like everyone has big ups and downs and stuff, you know? If you ever see someone who's completely consistent, like, viewership, they're either an anomaly. Like, there are some streamers that are anomalies where their shit never changes, and then it's either that or they're view botting. Like, there's, you know what I mean? There are some anomalies, but when someone is like a perfect, you know, 4K for 6 months, not moving, like, that shit's crazy. There really aren't many streamers that are like that. Almost everyone has ups and downs. Sometimes it's like 1 month you're at this, next month you're at plus 50%. Some people, it's like these slow ups and downs, you know? So I don't know. Streamers that pop off their Souls content. Right. Exactly. So I feel like it's hard to like tune stuff like this to people because everyone's situation is different. There are streamers that no matter what they do, they're always at the exact same number of people watching, right? I think like Vinny and like Tomato. or two that are like that. They're just anomalies, you know? They just have a certain number of people that are always there, and sometimes it's a little more, but usually it's like so scarily consistent. So people like that, it's probably really easy to tune shit to them, you know, because shit doesn't really change for them much. But I don't know. You don't like hype trains in general? Feels like a way to pressure people to spend money when they wouldn't. That's exactly what it's for, because the platform makes more money off of it, and the streamer does too. Captain, thank you for that 5 gifted sub. Thank you. I think everything in this world is designed to try to get you to spend money. So I'm not gonna shake my fist in anger at a hype train when like TV commercials exist.
Moo.
And a hype train is just like, oh yay, people are supporting. Whereas TV commercials are like, you need this, and they like scare you half the time. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I feel like this one's just like, oh yay. That's it. It's just like yay. And it shows a little meter, and it's I don't know. I feel like it's one of those ones that's like the least evil version of that, because it's really not. It's not FOMOing you super hard by doing anything other than like, do you want an emote, I guess? There are other things on some other platforms that are like,
are all about that foe.
That foe, about that foe. Lovely streamer leans into it, also changes how egregious it is. Yeah, like I don't mind doing a bit here and there, but some people sit there and shoutcast their number of subs that they currently have. That's a reason I don't like putting my current sub count. I'll put a daily, like whatever we get or we get gifted, you know, on the screen. So if people want to see that, they can see that. But I don't like putting like a here's my total number thing, because their streamers will sit there and they're like, come on guys, we got to be over 5K this month. Let's go. And I'm like, I don't think that's necessarily bad if you just mention it a little bit. But if you talk about it all the fucking time, it starts to get like, I don't know, it makes me not want to watch people sometimes, because I'm like, I know this is your livelihood. I get it. And putting it on the screen as a reminder to be like, yo, this is what I need to keep, like, whatever lifestyle I've got, that's fine. But when they sit there and, like, they just shoutcast that number constantly, it just gives, it's icky, you know? Like, just put it on the screen and that's enough, you know? Like, right? I don't know. I don't know why people do that. So that's why I just put the daily, so you don't know if I'm like up good or not that month or something, so you don't feel pressured to be like, oh, I gotta help her out more or whatever, you know? Like, I try to leave it vague for you on purpose, right? You don't want to be continually badgered for cash. Yeah. Like, it's one thing if you're making it just fun for people to join in a thing momentarily, but I don't know. That's why I'd rather just do some sponsored streams, some more sponsors here and there, and then not worry about it. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Mecha Break was like, do you want to play us for 2 days? And I was like, hey, I love your fucking game, absolutely. Because I'd rather you pay me than everyone else. You know? All of it's nice, but if I'm going to spend a bunch of time trying to get more money, I'm not going to spend my time badgering you guys. I'm going to spend my time talking to a sponsor and being like, hey, let me play your game. You know? I think that's the way to do it. Personally. I don't know. Close we get, here's the faction cup. Yeah. And that's like a free-to-play kind of thing, you know? So it's very, like, it's different. Death Jester, thank you for the 5 months. Is that woman who yaps a lot of YouTube videos? Nice to meet you. Welcome on in. You know, it's really funny. Oh, man, I got I want to complain for a second. There's some people, this is by design. This is our own fault, me and my team, 100%. There's some people that think that my clips channel is a representation of my stream. Like, it's all I do. They, like, don't even know that I play video games. And they think that the topics that we pick for those clips are the only topics I kind of talk about. Like, I lean into that stuff every time. But we just pick it because that's what does well on YouTube. And the other stuff, not as much. So why put time into it, right? We're just like, oh, people like these things over here. So we'll clip those, you know? But then I keep getting... There are, like, 2 people. I haven't blocked them from the channel yet because I'm just curious to see, like how mad they are. But there are, like, 2 users that comment on like every other clip and have to get pruned, complaining and being like, is this all she talks about? They get really upset. They're like, she only talks about business. What's the freaking point? Play a video game. And I'm like, oh, if only they knew. If only they knew, man. I'm like, watch streams, dude. It's funny. It's funny. They keep coming back to whinge. Right? They keep coming back, which means they're clicking every time. They're clicking every time, right? I don't know. People like that are your biggest fans, realistically. They are. Oh! Doo-doo shit. Thank you for that $10. I appreciate that. And Blackwood, thank you for the tier 3. Welcome on in. Hey, if you're tier 3, don't forget to be in the Discord because we do have a tier 3 chat. And that chat's always popping. It's the only one that I'm guaranteed to actually talk a lot in here and there because all the others have a fuck ton of people and I don't want to derail them. The community actually likes hanging out, and I'm not there to derail, but smaller chats I'll hang out in. Yep, gotta show the Six Sunshine gameplay, brother. Yeah. I was gonna talk to my team because I had been meaning to for a while. I told them straight up, for a bit, I was like, can we just use the clips types that do well for a while and just build that up? Because when you build a YouTube channel, like, you have to be, like, really narrow with it, you know? And then I was like, and then later we'll just say fuck it and, like, open it up more. But while we're building it, you know, we're gonna have to, like, focus down. So let's pick whatever thing, like, people love talking about, people love commenting on, and then, you know, once that's built and we feel like it's at a good point, then fucking, you know, then we'll go crazy with it. We'll go crazy with it. So I wanted to start doing that more, but we'll see. We'll see. That GEEGA's Ideal Man video had a lot of comments real fast, didn't? Let me look. I try to not, I try to not, like, pay attention to views on things. I pay attention to, like, or not overall views. I pay attention to, like, day one stats. Like, when we post it, does it go quick or does it not? Because then that just, I'm trying to learn how to, like, title and thumbnail well. Or not just me, but, like, my team, you know? Trying to get good at that. So being able to do that well is like, when you post it, what are your day one stats like, right? I don't really care about how they do over time in comparison. I just want to, like, feel like we're doing a good job, you know? What is the, let me see. Where's that video? Do I actually have an Ideal Man video? I remember I was doing a bit. I was talking about some funny shit. I think that was the one where I was talking about wanting a dude that'll just not say anything and make me food and then, like, go away. Right? Oh, 14,000 views in a week. Jesus. Jesus. Wait, how many comments? 83? Okay, a lot of people were like, so you need Alfred. They're like, from Batman. I was like, okay, they get it. They get it. They get it. But I remember my editor telling me, like, there were a lot of people that were like, I don't know how to describe it. I don't know how to describe it. They were like complaining about traditional roles, and they started to make it a debate about traditional roles. And I was like, brother, I'm doing a bit about, like, you should be seen and not heard and cook me food, idiot, right? Like that. And they're like essaying in the comments, and I'm like, dude, go do this on Reddit. Go to Reddit if you're gonna do that. My poor editors were like pruning so many comments because they didn't want that vibe, you know? There's a lot of people being like, what about me? Don't even comment that. Like, I'm not saying this like I look at it and I go, oh, I don't want to see it. I'm telling you for your own sake. You know, your peers are looking at you. Just don't even type that, you know, or type it and hit backspace, right? That's the way to do it. One guy goes, I'm right here, Giga. I cook and my kid is already 11 and I'm a stay-at-home dad with no wife. And his username literally says the house husband. He spelled like everything wrong too. It's so funny. It's so funny. Or there's some people that like thought I wasn't joking. Someone's like, I strongly believe this is a half joke, but if she's dead serious, especially this part, whatever part they pointed out, she's got a serious problem. Why type? I strongly believe this is a half joke, but it's the same thing that people do when they talk, where they're like, you know, I don't want to be rude, but, and then says something rude, right? I noticed, and I'm not calling out like this person in particular, I'm saying in general, I've noticed that with YouTube comments, people do that all the time. Yeah, hedging constantly. People do that all the time. And I'm like, why type that? It makes me think, because I don't type those things. If I look at, someone says a thing and I'm like, I have something mean to say. The thing is, I don't have anything mean to say, because if my brain produces that thought, I go, never mind. And I put it away. I put it away, right? I never feel compelled to type, I don't want to be mean, but you kind of look like shit. Like, I don't, like, what? It adds nothing of value other than being like, here's a mean thing I have to say, right? Like, all it does is make me look bad. At least that's how I feel. That's how I feel. So I don't know. When I see people type things like that, I'm always looking at it and going, what compelled them to type it? Because the way I feel about it is like, I've never felt compelled to type those things. And if anything, I feel compelled to make sure I don't type things like that ever, because I don't think people should be like that to people. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's just like, it's one of those phenomenons where a lot of people do a thing that I just fundamentally don't understand. When a lot of people do a thing that you just would never do, it's always just like, it makes the world feel a little not real sometimes, right? But it's the internet, so nothing's real on the internet. Right? None of that's real, so I don't take any of it seriously. I think about it a little bit for like a minute maximum, and then I'm like, probably like 5 seconds, honestly, and then I go, okay, well, and I forget about it, you know? Need to popularize with all disrespect. Right? Just stand on it. Just stand on it. They'll be like, I don't want to be mean, but her voice sucks. Just be like, her voice sucks, and just say it. Because that's the thought that came into your brain that you thought it was okay to say, and out yourself as a mean person who's okay with saying mean things in front of people. And just, you know, stand on it. Right? Like, do I think people should be like that? No, but if you're going to be like that, stand on it, man. Be like, I'm going to say an asshole comment. Right? Don't like pretend you're trying to, I'm not trying to be mean, but I'm going to be mean. Yeah, you're trying to be mean. You're trying to be mean. You're lying about your intent, right? Nah, I mean, if you got nothing nice to say, then don't be nice. Right? Right? Say nothing at all or don't be nice. Those are your two options, in my opinion. If you're like trying to pretend you're nice, but say something not nice, then I don't know. Then the red flag raises and I'm like, ew. Ew. Right? All disrespect, but you look very nice today. Yeah, exactly. Right? It's like the full flip on it. I don't know, man. I don't know. Never understood the internet's obsession with being mean and gluing themselves to things they dislike. Get a job, IDK. That's what it is. They're bored. They're bored. I think people do this stuff for entertainment, genuinely. I'm pretty sure it's because your brain gets a little satisfaction out of like feeling like you had some control over someone because you said something mean, right? Therefore, it scratches the same itch as entertainment. Therefore, people are doing it because they're bored. It's all like the same. If we're boiling it down to brain function, okay, it's like the same shit, right? So I think they just like being on the internet gives you easy access. Yeah, to scratch that itch. Exactly. So that's literally only the only reason why they do it. It's the only reason. They wouldn't do it in person half the time. Everyone thinks they're the next George Carlin on the internet. Dude, they watch one clip and they're like, me, hashtag me, and they start like saying mean shit. I mean, you see kids do it all the time when kids learn sarcasm. And they think sarcastic humor is funny. So they start trying to do it, but they don't know how, and they just say mean shit. They just straight up say mean shit to their parents while they're still like learning how to do sarcasm. I don't know if you've ever like seen a kid learn how to communicate like an adult, but you know, there's always this level of they're trying to learn how to like be tactful with humor, and you know, they're just saying mean shit. I feel like a lot of people don't make it that far past that, right? They make it a little past it, but not far. And then they just stop there, right? That was you at 1200%. Yeah, it's a very normal thing for, you know, everyone to have a phase of that, but just some people don't really get out of it. Your one buddy says George Carlin is a spirit animal. I feel like it's cool to look up to people. It's cool to look at someone and be like, I would like to be more like that, or I feel like I'm a little like this. But you should never get it twisted. You should never think, oh, I'm literally like this guy. Oh, I can be this person. You should never look at someone who is a quirky character and be like, oh my God, me, and start trying to do it and expect to be received the same way. Ever. Ever. Because there's also a big difference when George Carlin is on TV and you're not, right? He's a guy on TV, and therefore there's this subtext that we're all not talking about, we're not reading, but it's there, of like, this person was hired and paid to be here because they're good at this thing, right? Like they're put in a professional setting, but then you won't be in a professional setting. You'll be at like a bar and you'll say some crazy shit and it won't get received the same. And you're like, but I'm like literally like George Carlin, you know? He's literally me. It just doesn't work like that, man. It does not. Carlin was always punching up too, not punching down when he went on rants. That's a big part of it too, right? Big part of it. So, you know, yeah, no one in this world should think they're that guy. Exactly. I've noticed a lot of people do it with streamers nowadays. They see a streamer do a thing and they're like, oh, me too. And they start trying to be like that or do that IRL. You see it with kids mostly, though. Kids more than adults. Everyone does it, but kids are a real problem with it, where they see a streamer or YouTuber do a thing and it's so funny and they're like, haha, me too. And a really, really good example of it was when a really stupid one. That one dude was trying to do that stupid trend where people would take jugs of milk and just throw them on the floor and then pretend they slipped and fell. And they would make videos of this. And it was purely a nuisance and a disturbance. And maybe two really popular channels that were already popular did it. Remember that? It was the milk jug thing. It was so stupid. And there was a trend of like wasting food and stuff in public at one point. And it was like prank culture. But a ton of kids, because everyone has a cell phone, a ton of kids started making videos like that, but it would get like 10 views for their 3 friends from school, you know, whatever. And they would just like do that in public and be like, oh, I made a video, because they'd be like, I could be that guy. I don't know. I'm not saying people should necessarily be super mean to their kids, but they need to make sure that their kids have a sense of shame, okay? And a sense of humility, and to know you're not that fucking guy, okay? Like, I would look at that shit and I'd see some kid like filming his friend doing the same shit in public, and I'd be like, you'll never be that person, okay? You'll never be that YouTuber, right? And maybe, you know, maybe there's the two that actually will. Like, they might actually do well later in life or something. But you shouldn't make them think that that's going to be realistic, right? It's crazy. It's crazy. Age gating the internet seeming more feasible by the minute. I don't know how they would begin to do it. I did see, like, some countries are either passing bills or proposing bills about trying to limit the age. Like, some of them are making it so that you can't have social media after a certain point. Obviously, in the US, it's private. It's not really a legal thing, but they make it so that, like, you know, a certain platform will say, oh, you can't be here if you're under this age. But they usually do it to absolve themselves of legal liability, right? To say, like, oh, my TOS says this, therefore, if some 11-year-old does a thing on my platform, it's not my problem. You can't sue me for it, right? Or it's so that advertisers can comfortably advertise on the platform. Because if they allow, people under 13 to be on there, then suddenly those laws start to kick in where you, like, can't advertise certain things to kids, etc., right? So, that's why that exists, but it's not just like kids are shitty, let them get raised without this first, right? It's not about that. It's just about, like, their money typically. So I don't know. You feel like we need more kid only spaces like Club Penguin again? Yeah, there really aren't anymore. There aren't anymore. I think that's one of the problems. We used to have Club Penguin and have a hotel in Toontown and shit. Nowadays, all of the kids are on YouTube and TikTok and whatever the fuck. And yeah, Roblox is like the only one, kind of. But Roblox and Fortnite have a lot of adults on them as well, like a lot. And yeah, I think more kid spaces like that would be better. YouTube does have YouTube Kids, but it's so tailored to, like, little kids that when they start getting a little older, they don't want to be there anymore. I don't know. Roblox was taken over by adults trying to make a VR chat. Yeah. Yeah, it's really not. It's not a kid space. It's not. Yeah, there are a lot of kids that like it too, but I don't know. I think back in the day there were a lot more of those. Living on Wizard 101 shutting down. And no one's making anything for them. That's all. They're just not. They're just not. But also, I think you can't, now that kids have had a taste of being in adult spaces, I think you can't force them back into kid spaces. I just don't think you can. Kids don't got money. It genuinely, I think the only, not saying this is good, I think genuinely the only way to make it so that only adults, for the most part, are in certain online spaces would be to put a paywall on there. Literally just paywall shit. Some kids will grab their parents' credit card, yeah. But generally, if you have to pay separately for this thing, suddenly the kids are not accessing it, you know, like they don't have their own credit cards, you know, typically, et cetera, et cetera. And yes, some might find ways, but I think that's the only way that would actually work, but then that puts all the adults in a shitty spot, right? But I think that's the only way. Genuinely. You knew how to talk your dad into it. A lot will do that. Paywall or proper ID. Yeah, like I've said, like, there's some countries that make you, South Korea especially, makes you, like, use your actual ID and verify you, the person, and only the platforms know that information, like what username goes to what person, but they all make you do that. And that way, if you do something crazy, you can be sued easily, right? You're spreading misinformation about someone on a website. That person could be like, okay, I'm going to sue this user for defamation. Boom, they get you because you're spreading lies, you know? Stuff like that. If you get banned from a game, you cannot go and make another account because they know that you, the person, are banned. They do that. I think it's a little too heavy-handed. But you could make it a system where people could either do that or pay, potentially, right? And that way, if they want to remain anonymous, you could just do, like, some sort of payment method or whatever. And I think that might be, like, the way to do it. But even then, it's still a little too controlled. I don't know. I just don't think realistically it'll happen. I don't know. I see a lot of people defending even more paid content in games, calling people broke. And it's got to be mostly undeveloped prefrontal cortexes. Yeah. I agree. I think people that are calling each other broke are usually people that don't understand the value of $100. So, I don't know. Kids will really be out here spending $100 of their parents' money on Robux. thinking that that's cool. And then they have to get food in college. And there's a week where they need to eat. There's no food being served that they can get with their little pass. They have to go out and they're like, oh my God, I spent $5,000 this week. And they're like, oh.
Twitch used to do IP bans, but had a lot of problems with apartment complexes,
Yeah.
people work because it would usually affect a wide range of people.
Yeah, there wasn't really a good way around that. It just kind of was what it was. I don't know. They don't understand the value of money. They just don't. They just don't. It's one thing if, like, you understand the value and you're spending, your own $100 on horse girls, right? Like, but that's because it's your own money and you get it. But, unfriendly reminder that $100 is still nearly 2 full days of minimum wage work. Yep. Yeah, pre-tax. Yup. So, I don't know. Thoughts on measuring value by hours per dollar? Value of what? Value of what? You have to... I don't know what you are referring to. You gotta narrow that one down. If parents are fine with them spending $100 on Roblox, they'll be bankrolled. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Value of game, like gameplay hours per dollar price. I do a mix. So when I decide if I like a game, the on paper objective value is that for me. Like gameplay hours per dollar is a big part of it. But then I also have the subjective factor of how much did I love that game? How good was the experience? Whether I'm going to replay it or not. So there will be some games that, like, the value, the dollar per hour of game isn't that high, but I loved the experience and I would go back and do that again. I'd spend that money again and do it a second time if time went back, So I just do both. But I do think that's important, but I think you have to have the subjective part there as well. Because some people will be like, oh man, you want to play Outer Wilds? Why don't you just buy Isaac and play it for 3,000 hours? And I'll be like, okay, but the Outer Wilds experience is better. Okay? Like, you know what I mean? So, both. Both. You played Dave the Diver, right? Yeah, I did. I did a lot. That's too subjective. I mean, there's no way to make it objective and do right by it, in my opinion. Data's complex, okay? And if you rated how much you enjoyed a game from 1 to 10, and then you did these things and did those things and tried to quantify, yeah, you could do that and, like, set games up against each other in a spreadsheet for yourself. But that's your own taste, which is why you have to just let yourself be subjective about it. Yeah, you said valuing subjective experiences entirely by monetary values can make it feel a bit reductive. Right, I think it's still important, so you just have to factor both, that's all. You struggle to quantify anything. A lot of my old work was finding ways to quantify everything as best as possible to come up with solutions for things as best as possible. So I don't want to brag, but this is a thing I've had to do a lot. Okay, and I know how this works. And you just have to give subjective rating systems to stuff, typically. And just know that it will move in shape over time and change, and it's whatever, it's whatever. This is why you assume value in a range, right? So you make like a tier list. A tier list is a good example. Take games that you like and tier list them, and then the two factors are like what I said, like the value per hour, dollar per hour of what you got out of the game and how much you spent on it, that ratio. And then subjectively, just how much did you like it? You take those two things and then you throw them in a tier list and you just put them in batches and buckets. And yeah, some things will be at the higher range, the higher end of that range, lower end of that range, but they're in the same range. And you just throw them in a bucket. There you go. Because then that gives room for someone else to look at that and feel differently, but still keep them within those ranges. You know what I mean? It's okay to try to like maybe whittle it down a little, but keep those ranges big and vague on purpose because they're so subjective. You know what I mean? When you took your project management certification, you nearly panicked when you had to subjectively create a budget for a project. Yeah. Yeah. Some of the best workers and things like that are the people who can sit there and properly create a range based off of vibes, right? The people that can do that and be like 9 times out of 10 pretty close or correct, those people are crazy valuable and they're so much smarter than people realize. The people that can do that, it's insane. It's insane. That shit's fun though. Do you research games before deciding to get them so the value aligns? Nope. Nope, I research them simply to see if I would like to play them. That is all. And I am a really frugal person in my daily life, so I let myself just buy games sometimes and maybe it doesn't work out. Right? The two things that I allow myself to just spend money on sometimes are food, letting myself eat whatever food I want and not going for struggle meals like I used to all the time, and playing games, because that is the thing I like to do. That's it. Everything else, yeah, I'm really like anal about the cost effectiveness or the value or whatever. But, you know, those two things, since they're the things I do like most often or the most in general, you know. That's just how it goes, man. That's just how it goes. Follow age nuts, it's not set up here. LOL. Yeah, because the thing is, you can just click on your viewer card. You've been able to click on your own name and see that information for a very long time. So I don't like people gunking up my chat with, no offense to you, just with stupid ass commands when they could just click and not gunk up the chat. I did not know this. Now you do. Now you do. Yeah, if you click on your name or you click on someone else's name, like in mod view, I could pull up anyone's follow age just there. So it's a nice, easy way to look at it. But yeah, any like of those typical commands that used to be useful but aren't anymore, I just get rid of them. Because then, you know, if you have like regulars that sit there and like check their follow age every day, man, like why? Right? Why? So I like to ungunk the chat with that kind of stuff. In terms of jorked, there's some people have some really funny ones.
Done in mobile since like a month ago.
Oh yeah. I saw that they added that. Thank God. Sometimes they've been like really far behind with the mobile updates for some stuff like that, but it's nice to be able to check it on your own. Been here how long? Let me see. Ooh, November 23. Ooh. Wow. It's, for some people, it's, they've been following for a long time or short time or whatever. I wish they would give you a stat of, like, how many hours you've viewed. But I don't know that they're gonna, like, be able to pull that up quickly. And it's ever changing, so I don't know if they want to put, like, dynamic data like that in the little card when you click, you know? I think it'd be cool. I don't want to see that. Yeah, maybe it's better if you don't. All right. Oh, man. Maybe not. Maybe not. But who knows? It could be cool for like 3 of you that do want to see it or something. The end of your stats show many hours on the top channels. Yeah. You get them in the recap thingy, which I think the recap's cool, but okay. Here's the thing. I have some friends that I watch really actively, and I'm typing their chat, blah, blah, blah. I have some people that I watch that I just leave up on the second monitor, and they're just there. And they soak up the hours. So I don't like posting my recaps, because then those people will be at the top, and you know what happens. I post it on Twitter, and like my best friends are not like number 1 and 2 most watched. And then people are like, oh my God, you don't watch your friends? You don't watch your friends? Even though they're like still on there and it shows clearly I do watch them. But yeah, so you hate them? And they start like getting so weird about it. And then I'm just like, okay, I just won't post it. I just won't, right? No thanks. They should measure your chat participation for that. Yeah, but some people just like to lurk in certain chats too. So I don't know. I have some friends that I love watching, but I'll lurk all the time because their community like can't stop talking to me specifically when I'm there instead of just letting me like be part of the chat. So I feel like I'm derailing it, so I don't talk as much. It has no bearing on how much I like that person, the streamer, you know? So like, so that data wouldn't exactly work like either. People would misinterpret that too, you know? So I'm just like, it ain't worth it. Okay, I don't mind if they just like type my name. It's when they start having conversations. I'm like,
At the end of
no,
the
no, no.
year, we should do a yearly recap of who caused Undead to lose the most points. Faction redeems chat.
We do have the historical data. We do. We do. In the end, everyone just lurks on Moon's. Yeah, and I'm one of those. I just lurk in Moon's chat all the time because he's live after my stream. So I just open his chat and I'm just fucking there and I say hi a bit. His chat is really good at not derailing the chat to talk to me or anything. Like one or two people might ask a question or whatever, but the chat moves quickly. I can kind of like blend in, you know? So it's comfortable. So I'm more likely to type there than in a chat where I type and people are like, what do you think about the whatever? And the streamer's like trying to talk about the game and they're just like talking to me instead of the streamer about the game. Then I feel like I'm fucking it up, you know? So I don't type in those. I don't know. I feel like the smaller the chat, the more likely that is to happen. So a lot of my friends that are smaller, I won't type so much because I want the attention that's on them to stay on them. You know, I feel really fucking bad. Even if it's like brief, I feel really fucking bad if I'm just like, hey, and everyone's like, at me, you know? I feel bad about it. I don't know. When someone does a subathon and the monthly recap arrives. Yeah, that too. The subathons really skew it. They do a lot. Yeah, the people you mod for don't make the top 5, but lots of big streamers who stream absurd hours do, and you barely chat in their streams, right? Yeah, and like I'll never have friends that stream and overlap my hours a lot, like in that top 5, because I can't watch them because I'm streaming, you know? So there's a lot of stuff like that where it makes me not want to post it. It makes me not want to post it. Okay, I'm gonna open Peak. I'm gonna do it now. We got some friends to play with. And I want to get to it. I want to get straight to it. Let's go right here. Right here. Right here. Hello. Also, I just want to say, I started following Queso's mom on Twitter, and I really like her. She's so sweet. I'd always see her post things occasionally, but I never followed. Now I followed, and I just, like, see tweets from her way more often now. She posted, like, a TikTok or something, and she's, wear that crown, hun, Queso Nation. She's so nice. Poor Queso. Queso's feeling better. I know all this, not because I'm the biggest viewer, but because I see his mom's updates. He had an ear infection and his like jaw was swollen, his ear was swollen, like all the pressure was killing him, and she was giving updates about it. And I know so much about it because she was updating. His mom's really sweet. How old is he? Is he just very family oriented, or like did he start streaming when he was relatively young? I don't know. I think if I weren't a VTuber, I'd probably like my mom would probably be involved. You know what I mean? He's TMJ. I'm pretty sure. Isn't he baby? He seems young. He seems young, but I don't know. I've never checked. It's a good thing. Oh, it is. He's 27. Oh, then he's not well, yeah, he's not baby. He has a fully developed prefrontal cortex. Okay. Oh wait, hold on. I have to host the game first before I invite them. Hold on. Hold on. Oh wait, we gotta go purple. We gotta be Eastside Bola Gang. Okay, okay. Now we're gonna get... It won't let me search through my friends. I have to scroll. Oh my god. Okay, we're gonna add Darrell. Why is it being weird? Hold on. My Steam overlay. I know you can't see it. My Steam overlay is like not letting me click properly. There we go. Oh, you can? Why can you? Wait, that's weird. Let me see. Maybe that's why it's a little off. Hold on. Let me look. No, that doesn't affect it. If I like hide it like that and then like move things around, that doesn't affect it. I don't know if you could see my mouse then when I was doing that. It might have been behind me, but I like things weren't aligned. Okay, well let me just do it through Steam. The felt illegal. Well, I mean, I don't. This is like an account that doesn't have anything crazy on it on purpose, so that way like stuff like that is never actually a concern for me. I know some people that have to hide it all the time because like there could be an issue, and I'm like, just don't have things on your account that could be a problem, you know? I don't know. Like, you could see my whole friends list and it wouldn't be an issue. So I don't know. It's being a little fucky. I'm just trying to click on Darrell and invite, but it just says watch game. Try it this way. Okay, I can use the invite friends button and it works. Okay, so someone's Darrell. I got someone to... I need Fahrenheit. Ooh, Darrell's in. Gotta do Leon Edwards. Edward. Who else said they were joining? Oh, Kibbs.
Where am I?
I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you. Okay, and then I'll get Kibbs later.